Welcome dudes and dudettes, this is Dave with Wheelbarrow Electrics. Got the spicy TP-XXL review, loadout, whatever you want to call it. Give it a bit of everything. I've done the video on this already. See, I'm a big time YouTuber now. I've done a video on this one. I'll put a taggy thing here or there or there. I don't know how to do that yet, so I'm not going to do that, but just give you a quick look at the old MP1 before we get going. Just simple side cutters, super quick, got some holes in there. Termi, Phillips, got the little Milwaukee torch, tester, peaker, Termi driver, pen, knife. Easy done. So I could have made that other video like 2 minutes long. The big girl. I love this bag. I love this bag. This bag is absolutely magnificent. This is my favourite Veto bag, probably ever, I think. I've had it now for over a year. I'll just run you through all the tools and I'll give you some thoughts along the way. This might turn into a rambly bambly video, but we'll see how we go. And if Hank stopped licking his balls over there, maybe we could get started. Settle down, mate. Right, so I guess the first place to start is the edges, and we'll work our way into the middle. Tape roll, phase tape in Australia is red, white and blue. America, get on board with it, man. Red, white and blue, it's great. Black's our neutral, and obviously earth is our earth. On the side pocket here, these big boy side pockets, I've got the IW5R lead lenser torch. Did a little video on this too. See for a link. I think I'll put it back because if I start taking it out and leaving it out, I'll just it's going to get out of control. Here I've got the Leica D2 laser distance measurer. This bad girl does up to 100 meters. Right, so I'll leave it out. Right, so in the side meter pocket here, this is devoted to all sorts of different spanners. I've got a big assortment. I'll just pull the bunch out and you can have a quick look at them. I've got the Sparco. They're the 4 size reversible wrenches. These are really good, really good. It's a 4-in-1. I mean, what else can you say? I love them. I've just got some gear wrench. Where are you? So there's a gear wrench, all metric, obviously. A ratchet that doesn't have a lever on it, so probably a little bit stronger than the ones with the switch on. I've just got a few standard, normal ring spanners. A couple of different sizes. I don't go too crazy with the sizes. Up to 19mm, which does an M12 bolt. Just using there. Got the next size down in the Sparco. Absolutely love these things. I have a gigantic We're a smashy driver. This thing's a beast. It lives in there because it's kind of too big for everywhere else. A little Sparco Prybar as well. Don't use this too often, to be honest. It probably shouldn't be in the bag anymore, but it's tucked in there nice and tight. So just a little extension for a 1/4 inch and a impact adapter, and my little 13mm. Ugh. It's a bit gross and bound up. I'll fix that later. Right, on the side here, side pocket, I've got the Klein auto strippers. Pretty good. And the Pachang! We're a multi-bit driver. Super cool little driver, this thing. I don't use it as much as I think I should. The main problem with it for me is this this head. It doesn't really fit too well into like a deep terminal, so if you've just got you know, I keep a flat on there, just it's typically the one that I'm going for. I'll have my MP1 with me when I'm walking around, so if I need a flathead, a bigger flathead, I'll just have this in my pocket. So, but again, I don't pull it out of this bag as often as I'd like, because I love this thing, but I don't use it probably as much as I should really. So and we'll go to the other side so you can see. Just have a Stanley Fatmax 5 metre tape. I think a 5 metre is probably ideal for most situations, especially as a Sparky. You're marking out lights and stuff, you're not going over 2 metres too often. On the side here, I've got just hooked on with some paracord. That little thing's a little bit of a joke tape. I keep that on the MP1 sometimes. Got some of those mechanics gloves. These are pretty nice gloves, quite like them. And I've got the Safe Styles in a off-brand case. Down in this side, if you can see, I won't pull all this out because this is a ridiculous amount of drill bits in here, but I've got extensions, long drill bits, there's, you know, step drills in here. I've got like a borer drill, more step drills, more drill bits. It's a 1/4 inch. These 1/4 inch, they work well on the impact if you need to drill a hole. Get the surge out and just send it with that thing. On the side here, I've got the big dog linesman's hammer, whatever you want to call them. Alright, and got the snipper sip scissors. Nipex again, great scissors. I really like those for data actually. I have just a little inspection mirror. This little doodad's handy. Poker in a wall, in a hole that you've cut, and you can look around for a cable. Really underrated tool, because I mean everyone uses their phone to look in the holes, but you know, sometimes it doesn't quite fit. You get a little pen torch on one of them, sometimes it gets you out of trouble. So tuck that back in. I think we'll go to the back before we go to the front. Just got the fine little wristy magnet. Makes your wrist sweaty though, so I mean this is Australia here and getting sweaty ain't ideal. So in the back here I've got the Tool Check Plus, slightly modified with some different bits in there. I think they're King Chrome bits, but I needed a set of Hex Imperial because we do some work at a company that imports all of their automated machines from America, so you need the dirty Imperial. Just a standard set of conduit cutters. Pop that back there. Sometimes the Nipex bolt cutters live in the back there too. We'll get round to the front. There she is in all of her glory. Now, I think before we go into here, we'll delve into this pocket. So, in this big boy pocket, I have a bunch of stuff. So, this is a PowerPoint cutout tool. It's got a little level on it. It's the right size for outlets in Australia, so you just mark that on the wall, off you go. Just got a couple of sets of black nitrile rubber gloves, some small cable ties, Nipex panel key, the fidget spinner of, well, the $80 fidget spinner here. I have just some band-aids, you know, you get cut up on the job. I mean, look at the fingers, they're all mangled from today anyway. Little tub of super glue, just whatever brand. I've just got a lighter, an eraser, some white cable ties, little small ones, and some food grade little small ones. They have a little bit of metal indented into them. Anyway, they show up on the scanners in food grade automated installations. Just got a couple of different connectors. These are BP connectors, the screw terminal types. Got some Vargos for, I use these for fault finding actually. That's about it in there. Little earpod case. On, go back in. Alright, now I think we'll start at the top and work our way down. So in this top big flappy pocket here, got some more gloves for some reason. You go into someone's manky house and you're touching their cooktop or something, it's gross. Like, you want rubber gloves. So just got some spare Stanley blades, some fuse wire. You don't come across a lot of rewirable fuses, but if you blow one and it's a Friday arvo, just put the fuse wire back in and get out of there, right? I know it's not good practice, but I mean, good practice goes out the door on a Friday afternoon, right? Alright, so I've just got a little device. This is my little hook downlight checker combo. So it's about 50 millimeters at the top. If you poke a hole up into the ceiling, you can feed this up and in and do a little woo, just to feel around for a timber or anything up in the ceiling. And you can go right ahead and drill your downlight hole and hook out your cable if you need to. So these are my little micro bits, I guess they call them, and I have a driver for them down here. This is actually from a Wera. It was a little promotional kit. This is a bastardized set. This was a cheap set from Bunnings, and I'm using this bit. So there's a couple of different types. There's some chrome ones, and I've just sort of pinched the ones that I liked and wanted to keep. It came in a little aluminium case. Had some magnets on it, but it was a little bit crappy, so I've just kept the driver. Alright, so at the top here, I've got the Apex E-Shock thing. You know, when you want to send it in a breaker in a live board, just YOLO. Just some backup drill bits here. That's a 5mm hex for big boy screws, and just a couple extra Phillips. Got the cutesy little Nipex Cobras. This is a joke tool. Like I don't use them, but I mean it looks mint up here, so I'm not going to get rid of them. Just a little spare bit driver with a, you know, one of these replaceable style bits. I've got a 3/8. Pull it out. It's a 3/8 driver for 3/8 sockets. This little is a Wera extension. Comes with the little 1/4 inch driver and just another. I've got two of them. What do I notice? Tuck that back in. Alright, so in here, all my bits for the Speedy. They're just tucked up there. I very rarely pull anything other than the Phillips out for the Speedy. And I've just got the 1/4 inch, 5/16 and 3/8 nuts drivers. I know it's Australia here and we use metric, but a lot of our screws, like especially hex tech screws, are still these legacy sizes, so you've got to have them. Alright, so first and foremost, we've got the Surge. Got the fancy stealth mount bit on it. The Surge is a massive improvement on the standard impact driver, in my opinion. Just you lose a tiny bit of power, but overall the quietness of this driver makes up for it, I think. You I mean, it's a little bit less powerful. It's not, you know, I'm not crazy or anything, but I much prefer it now. I'm very used to it. So I've just got a big flat blade Weeha, my favourite screwdrivers Weeha, and I've got this. See if I can show you. It's the Xeno type driver, so it's got an element of a flat blade and a Phillips. So these are great for any of those terminals that they use in circuit breakers. You can get some serious torque on these. Just bites the screw really well. In this pocket, I've got a just got a piece of 32mm conduit in here to protect that pocket. But just a second cut file and a gyprock saw, plasterboard saw, I should say. Got the Speedy here. Love the Speedy. Thanks for all the recommendations, everyone that made me get it, but those lights push me over the edge, man. Like, it's nice and bright. I can't see the numbers on the terminal bars anymore. Weeha hammer. It's nice and light. It fits in this bag. I needed a hammer for ages, and this one is nice enough. It appeals to my tool wankiness enough, and it fits in the bag. So I've got a hammer in the bag. It's absolutely great. Pull that one out because it's a little bit in the way. Just got a Stabilo level. This one doesn't have the magnet, so it's probably better for fitting off. There's no swarf and stuff, or, you know, dirty dust that's going to get on the walls when you're fitting off. So I recently bought the magnetic one for doing some cable tray, but I'm going to keep that one in this bag for fit off purposes. So in the side here, just got a set of 250 Cobras. Can't beat these. These are by far the best grip pliers out on the market by absolute miles. They're unbeatable. So if you don't have a set of these and you're rocking the channel lock still, mate, stop living in the past. Same deal with the pliers wrench. These, in my opinion, this is Nipax best, absolute best, without a doubt tool. Like these are absolute game changers. The amount of force that you can put on a fastener with this tool is beyond belief. So again, 250mm is probably your go-to size, 10-inch. They're relatively slim, so it fits everywhere that you'd have a you know, adjustable wrench, and you're putting hundreds of kilos of force with that little motion there. So definitely recommend them. And while we're on the topic, I've got a smaller set of both here. This is the older style, the different coating, whatever they've done, but I'll probably use these size a little bit more than the bigger ones, but if you needed one set, I'd go with the 10-inch, not these 6. So, I do have an adjustable wrench. This is a Sparco. It's got a slim tapered tip here, so great for doing up glands. Even though, you know, I'd still lean towards going for the pliers wrench, but this is such a nicely designed tool, and like the screws so smooth when using it. I just like having it in the bag, honestly. I'm a tool wanker, what can I say? Right, so down here, got some CK crops. These were given to me by a friend for helping him get through. He's a POM, and he gave me this set for helping him get through the Australian electrical exam, getting his license transferred over. And I really like them. Right, we have a set of VetoProPac keys. I mean, what can you say? They're colourful. They look great on Instagram and on the video, for that matter. Might even use this as a thumbnail. But yeah, they're great tools. I've had them quite a while. It's starting to wear off. I mean, as you can see here, like the numbers are starting to wear off a little bit, which is a little bit irritating, but they do have numbers, indents on the handle there, so we'll see. A couple of them have been a little bit banged up worse for wear, but I still recommend them. What else we got? So just a set of standard needle nose. These are Marvel brand. Big fan of Marvel tools, Japanese made. Lovely. Okay, in this side here, just got a couple of sets of tweezers, pulling metal splinters out of your fingers, or you know, wood splinters out of your eyeball, whatever you have. A couple of sets of punches here for marking out automated panels, whatever you have. This Starrett Punch is magnificent. It's an automatic punch. Heirloom tool. Absolutely love it. Right. In the front here I have the Nipex Crimps. Just absolute quality. Sorry. That's the part number. They're a couple $100 here, but I mean, when you use them as often as I do, you know, having a quality tool. Sort of getting the theme with the bag now, aren't we? But it's supposed to go in there. Just a small set of vice grips. These are the pointy nose one. They're handy. They're handy. Just an attachment for the surge. It's a little drill bit collar style one, so that's just a normal drill bit, but it has a 1/4 inch hex to go in the impact driver. Right, now down the bottom here, in the bottom of the bag, deep in the bowels, I have a little 1/4 inch gimbal for sockets. It gets you into some pretty tight little spots because it's got quite a small profile. Again, I don't use it particularly often, but it is the odd time I do. Right in the bottom, I've got the insulated Nipax. It's like a fully plastic tool, but I mean they've got a little bit of give, but they're pretty solid for a plastic tool, and they're great in a switchboard. Like if you're in a switchboard, I mean, sure, you could have an insulated set of needle nose, but you still got the danger of shorting out between anything with the metal tips. This, I mean, you can touch face to face, it doesn't matter. I do it for shits and giggles sometimes just to freak people out, but top them back in the bottom. Alright, so in the front here I've got my smaller spanners and the smallest little Sparco set. The little Weir driver that came in my, I bought a kit, that came in the kit. But yeah, the small little Sparco set, and you know, 11 down to 10, and I like the smallest little ratchet there. So that just lives in the front. Easy access. Also right in the front here I've just got a set of flush cuts. Nipex again, it's a small, I took the spring out for years, I'll put the spring back in recently. I think I like the spring, I think. Got the Weir 1/4 inch Cyclop, I think it's called. And it's got the 1/4 inch adapter bit on the top there. It's pretty handy. I actually quite like it. I've got a little set of 1/4 inch drives for taps. I really like using this for tapping actually, which is pretty weird I suppose, but I've just got a small little Pica Finish Phillips. There's just an extension with a deep socket 10. It's a Sparco socket. I don't know where it came from, but I don't have a Sparco socket set, but got one now. Alright, down the front here I have the Big Nipex cable stripping knife. This thing's pretty good. Smaller cables, not so much, but if we get up to like a 16mm multi-core cable, this string strips it like butter. It's a really good tool. It's better than those rotary stripper with the little, I don't have one handy. I might have one handy actually, I'll show you. This one. These little things, if you've seen these before. They've got a little blade that's in there. and it's adjustable with this screw at the bottom. I'll see if I can just screw it up so you can see it a little better. But yeah, it's got a little blade in there, and you just run this down the cable. This is actually better, I think. Also, you look cooler when you're doing it. Alright, and then just my striking driver. This is my main go-to punch and ball. It's an awl, it's a Prybar, it's a bit of everything. This one has a rough life. Alright, so right down the front, I've got the Ergo strip, which doesn't get used for stripping this too much, but for stripping flex, I think it's worth having just in your bag, just for stripping flexible cable. I think that's for coax, which I don't do a whole lot of, but just for flex, I keep it in the bag. It does the job with the strippers. Like if you've got it in your hand or in your pocket, I'll use it. But it's really for this function, and at the top here, the flex stripper. This is another stripper. It's a pinch pull design, I guess you'd call them. You've seen, this is sort of the operation of it, and it just pushes apart. Plenty of this sort of design out on the market by every other brand. It's got a cutter there as well. This was my first real stripper that I bought for doing automated panels, and I've kept it in the bag too, because if you ever need to get into a box and get right to the back, you can still like safely strip a cable without risk of damaging the insulation. Right, so up the front, just a little brass brush, little 6-inch ruler, 150mm ruler, metric bananas, whatever. That's a scribe for doing any sort of metal work. I have just a little tiny square. This bag, I've always got a spare one of these, because mate, if this goes into someone's pocket, I'm not getting it back. Got the cutest little Prybar ever. Does the job though, man. Like, it gets used every now and then. Got a white marker pen for switchboards and whatever else. Just a multicolored assortment of markers for when I'm doing rough in. I sometimes like to use a different color marker for different things. There's a couple of little cheapo jeweler's files. Get into those difficult to reach places. There's a crayon, builder's crayon, marking out on concrete or timber. Just a couple of different 4-color pens. I have, like, what do you call this, a reamer? Goes around pipes, inside of pipes, or does anything. This one's pretty chummed up on the blade, so, but they're cheap. So, and a pen for doing test tagging. That particular pen is the only one that seems to stick on the test tags for pat testing, and just a builder's pencil, which I don't really use honestly, because you know, I've got the Pica, mate. The Pica is where it's at. Anyway, my bag's in shambles now, and I need to, oh, nearly forgot. On the side here, T6. The T6 1000, it's not the Pro. Got a Klein magnet on the back. And this is a great tester. Test for dead, continuity, fault finding, 90% of my testing, and use of a meter. This is meter. If I need to get the big boy 376 out of the car, I will, or the 1664 for commissioning, but this one does the job 99% of the time. It's a great tester. If you're an apprentice, get this meter. This is the meter you should get. I think that pretty well sums it up. No, it's not quite. I'm not quite done. I've just got my cable tie bundle. Get these little snap clips from Bunnings. They're like $1 each or whatever. You can just hook it onto your belt hook, and then you've got your bunch of cable ties going. And the neodymium magnet. So this thing is a stud finder. It's a stud finder. It's a good stud finder, and it's probably the best stud finder on the market. Even in a timber wall, this will find the screws, mate, and it won't let go. So if you need a stud finder, consider just getting a $10 magnet off this. I mean, this one has got like the whole thing, and the thing. Oh, I think it was like $15 when I bought it. But I mean, this thing, you got to get one of them. Right, that's that, boys. That's the TP-XXL. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, like and subscribe, all that bullshit. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you later.